What is up, guys? Welcome back to Halferland videos. I am happy and proud to announce I got my transmission back. So the transmission is back. Phantom grip LSD blocks are in. Got a couple things to take care of. This little rubber boot fucking was cracked and all nasty, so I'm trying to figure out a solution to fix that. But she's good to go, you guys. Very cost-effective alternative. I believe the Phantom grip block was actually like 180, and then the labor was 250. So that's compared to, you know, having to get a TL transmission, the 04 to 06 manual, which would run you probably from the, I want to say, $800 to $1,200 range, depending on the condition. Or like a, what is it, M Factory? I think those are around $700 or $800 plus labor, unless you're going to do it yourself. So those Phantom grip LSDs are a good alternative. Got the motor here all covered up, ready to go. We're going to start taking care of some prep, get everything going. Got my dad on the way for an extra hand, you know, just to make sure all the clearances are good. I'm not going to hit anything. I'm going to leave the intercooler and piping in there for now, unless I have to take it out. So alright, it's not going to be a very detailed video. I'm just going to try to get this shit knocked out and done, because I really need to get my car running. I miss it a lot, and it's my daily. I don't want to have to depend on my truck, because it is a good truck, but it's old, as you can see. I don't want to put too many miles on it, because it does bail me out of a lot of situations. So alright guys, let's get going. Guys, don't laugh at me. This is what I had to work with. Being this piece broke, so you can see in there a little bit of air. It has like a rubber boot that fits around it and allows it to move back and forth. What I did, I took out the inners of that boot, as you can see there, and this is a car like emergency tool bag. What I did was I cut a little hole in the end to slide this on, slid this all the way through. It's actually padded, nice leather, so it should be fine. And what it does, it eliminates or helps keep out dirt and debris and shit from in here. But it's still, as you can see, it still operates, zero binding. And unless I'm actually throwing or actually engaging the clutch, there's no room there, see? So unless I throw it, which would be only obviously like a split second, I'll be throwing it there. But as you can see, man, it's freaking like, it's tight. So this is what I had to work with to get the motor in, because I didn't want to leave it open to the environment and all the elements. So I am going to order a new one, but sometimes you got to think outside the box, guys. So once again, it's just the old like emergency tool bag. Cut one end off, the open end, and then I cut like a little slit for this side to slide it over, slid it in, made sure it wasn't binding or affecting anything. The rubber part, or the original seal or whatever you call it, I cut the inner part out, left that seal there, slid the new boot through the outer fucking whatever it is seal, and then put the seal on, and then taped up the end so it wouldn't move anywhere, no dirt, debris. It's actually pretty fucking solid, guys. I think it's really good. I mean, it's actually a better steel than what OEM was, believe it or not. But all right, that's it. So it'll eliminate, dude, when I took this off, this thing was shot, but there was so much dirt and shit. Like the throw out bearing was disgusting. So this should be a good thing to have. You got a little baby check for the video. Uh-oh, this is my niece. Can you say hi to Miss Harper? What? Her little kicks, her tiny little kicks. That is Miss Harper Quinn. Well, there she is, guys. Pretty much in there. Fought up a little bit, not too bad. Pretty much good to go. We got these, got the front on first, and then we put the bolt on, kind of drew it in with the bolt, just a little bit, not a lot. Then we got this on, but not mounted to the frame. And then I went under there, and the TL, the accurate TL Type S, or the TL transmission mount, as you can see, it's much beefier than the OEM Accord trans mount. This helps a lot with wheel hop. Once I put this on, I didn't have any wheel hop at all. Still don't. It just spins. But I pried this over because the trans was sitting on top of it, so I pried it over, and then I had put these bolts in, got them mounted up, and then I came back up here, started doing this one, and then we went to the back, and of course there's one more mount on that side, which will be the last one. But it's pretty much living in its home right now. Once that's done, like I said, we'll go over to that one, and everything is basically where it is, and we're gonna snug it up. And here are my ported runners. Not sure how well you guys can see that. There's some nice sunshine now. Those are my ported runners. I charged for about $250 for them. Fully ported, polished. As you can see, a nice polish. They are gasket matched on the intake side. Head side is not gasket matched because obviously unless you're gonna gasket match the actual head, it's not worth it. Plus they do open up, I do open them up about a 0.5 mil to 1 mil all the way around, so they are opened up a little bit, but they're not fully gasket matched like the intake manifold side. Like I said, P2R offers them. I think they're about $320 plus shipping. I charge about $250 with shipping also, so that's them. I fucking don't know how well you guys can see it, but they're shiny as shit. Best of all, they're gasket matched very, very well. I do take my time. I make sure all of them are good. They're not going to be beautiful, as you can see. They're going to be a little dirty. They are used. I don't have a hot tank like other companies, so it is what it is. I mean, you're not going to see them obviously because they sit underneath the intake manifold, but I do go ahead and I sand the mating surfaces, so they will be smooth. They'll be good to go once you get them. But hit me up if you guys are interested in them. Email is halferland@gmail.com, and once again, halferland@gmail.com. It's half, HALFER, land@gmail.com. Same name as my channel, except no videos, no Halferland videos, just halferland@gmail.com. All right, guys, day 2, back at it. Obviously need to start getting all this wiring up, get everything else done. That passenger side motor mount the condenser. Right now I'm going to change the transmission fluid on the manual. That's the fill. I don't know if you can see it right there in the middle. That is the check, and then on the bottom side you'll have the drain. So you open the check, obviously drain if you need to. I don't need to. I'm going to open the check. I am going to add fluid to the top, and then once it starts coming out of the check, that's enough. Close it off and good to go. Again, guys, sorry it's not going to be a very, very detailed video because I need to start going on this. I'm actually running short on time, and I'm hoping to get it started and running today. Let's go. All right, guys, a lot of people get confused. They're like, oh, which one is the oil check bolt? Well, let me come under here. You can see I overfilled a little bit, but you have that's the drain, and then right above it, right there, that's the check bolt. That's where the engine check bolt will be. It's a small 10 mil right there. You can see I'm full. That's draining out of the axle shaft hole, so that's actually draining where the axle should be, so it's definitely full. But you can see that's the check bolt, that's the drain, and then right there's the check. There's one more up there that kind of looks like it would be, but it's not. So the check bolt is a 10 millimeter, the one closest to the drain, and that will tell you, fuck, I used a lot. Look at that. That's a lot of transmission fluid. But anyways, that's the one that you want to check. And you should be good. It kept filling up. I'm like, what the fuck? It took what, 2.5, almost 3. So I was like, damn, I didn't think I overfilled it by that much, but I guess it took a little while to get to everything that it needed to. If you guys ever do a swap, just unbolt your condenser and leave it right here in front of the radiator fan. I didn't even take the radiator or the fans out. Only thing I removed was the reservoir for the coolant reservoir. But these will back out, just 1, 2, and then another on the 2 more bolts on the bottom directly below. These are the bolts. Just take them out, unmount it, and set it there. Hell of a lot easier than disconnecting the entire thing and having to recharge it afterwards. Not worth it. Just leave it. Alright guys, something with these knock sensors, they become extremely brittle because obviously they're sitting right here where the engine is, or where a lot of the engine heat is. It's right on top of the engine. So this plastic becomes brittle and it breaks. So what I'm going to try to do to combat that is to put a little reflective heat tape on it. And hopefully next time I pull it off and I just look at it, it doesn't break. Because these are, I mean, literally you look at them and they break. This is my 3rd one that I'm on. Never ever dropped it or hit it really hard. Just simply pulled the connector off and the connector breaks. So I sprayed out with compressed air in there just to you know, make sure there's no like shavings or anything like that that would promote, you know, a false knock, bouncing around or anything like that. But that's it, man. Just a little tip for you guys. And got the compressor. Man, I don't think you guys can see this, but dude, the gasket matching is spot on in there. Something slowing me down a lot is I forgot to swap over these studs. So instead of bolts, they have studs and nuts, or whatever the fuck they're called, man. I didn't swap them over. It's a pain in the ass, so I gotta pull them all off and put them on a new head. The rear is gonna be a pain in the ass because there's barely any room, so that's what I'm doing now. And the easy way to get studs off is to put one nut. So put one nut on there and then put another nut on there, and you tighten them to each other, so one goes reverse, one goes forward, and then you start backing it off on this one, because this nut on the front will hold it. So basically you're spinning the entire bolt off. It's a hell of a lot easier than like channel locks or anything else. Let me see if I can demonstrate this for you guys real quick. So you put one on. Put the other one on. And then you tighten them up to each other the best you can. And there you go. I don't know if you could see that, but the stud's coming off. And it makes it a hell of a lot easier. See, sometimes it backs itself off, but you gotta just retighten it, keep going. No quick way to do this. You can't get an impact on it, so you just gotta keep fucking chugging along. And this one's almost out. And like I said, I should have did this long before. I should have caught this, but man, I had so much shit going on to get this car ready. I had to port, polish, machine the heads, you know, do a valve job. I had to put all valve seals in there, new Bisimoto springs, inspect the stage cam. So there you go, guys, that's all it is. And then you would take another wrench and back that one off, and that's it. Alright guys, something I'm doing to try to keep the coolant temps down is I am reflective heat tape wrapping my radiator, my coolant pipe. Sorry man, I'm freaking tired already. Coolant pipes. This is not for bling factor. This is just to try to keep the water temps down, because obviously it's going to be a massive turbo, which is basically like a big ass oven underneath the in the engine bay. I guess it's just an added benefit that it's shiny and gold. But that's what I'm doing. Let's see if it works. No idea how it will. Currently my temps are pretty low. They run 200 to 15, right around there, which is fine. Never had an issue running full out or anything like that. But again, I've also never tracked the car, so I've never gone 20-30 minute sessions of like wide open, you know, back to back to back to back. But we'll see. Maybe I'll start doing that once the car's done. Alright guys, now it's time to start, finally, electrical connections. As you can see, I have the hoses here. I got my custom EGR block off plate. All the motor mounts are in. PCDs, pre-cat deletes are in. Runners are in. Guys, something I always do, I always put a little oil on my finger and then I'll rub it around the O-ring, because you want to make sure you don't fuck those up, because I've had one time where it like pinched the O-ring and dude, I mean there was spilling gas everywhere. I'm lucky the damn thing didn't catch on fire in the motor, because literally it was just gas everywhere, and it hit the headers a couple times, so I was like shit. But anyways, just a little bit of oil, and then I make sure the ports on the runners are nice and cleaned out, and I use compressed air to spray them out, and then I basically spray down every part I have, make sure all the dirt's out of the harnesses and everything or whatnot. So my camera's about to run out. I'm not sure how much more footage I got here. And guys, if you tap it in like I do, use a rubber mallet, and you're not hitting it to force it in, you're hitting it to give it a little shock and edge it along. You're really not, I mean, you're barely tapping it, you guys. And what that does, it shocks it and it sets it in. I'm really not applying much force at all whenever I'm hitting it. So like I said, guys, be careful doing that. Injectors are a very vital part of the motor, and they are fragile, so be careful. Make sure you got O-ring oil on the O-ring, not super saturated where it's covering the injector outlet or where it sprays in the spray pattern. So, and like I said, if you're hitting it with a mallet, tap it, guys. I mean, literally, you can barely hear that, light taps, and it's basically just shocking it to go in. Alright guys, back at it, day 3. I didn't think it was going to take this long. But I did expect about 2 days, but as anything when it pertains to cars, the unexpected always comes up. As you can see, I did a lot of cleaning up in the engine bay. Started tucking and organizing the wires a lot better. As you can see, that's a lot cleaner. Relocated the fuse box. It was sitting here, which would obstruct my future turbo exhaust pipe out the back, because I do want to run a normal exhaust. I don't want to have to dump it out the top like an ignorant bastard, you know, causing all the ruckus. But no, seriously, I don't want it to be loud. It's my daily. It's loud enough as it is. So I moved it from here and I moved it over. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a huge difference from there to there. Got some other stuff, loose ends to do. I will probably take the nitrous lines off of the intake, but I mean, as you can see, it's pretty much buttoned up. Gotta do the alternator. I have to put my J pipe on, so it's J pipe, intake manifold, O2 sensors, axles, all three. You got the two, and then you got the one intermediate in the middle. And then it's just a bunch of plugging in, and then I have oil. I already have transmission fluid in there, oil and coolant, and that will be it, guys. She'll be up and running, so let's get started. So this is why shit always takes so long for me. So here's my dilemma. It's way off. I'm not worried about that up there because it still has the mating surface. What I'm worried about is the overlap right here. That's fine. That's needs a little. That's perfect. That's perfect, and that's perfect. It's pretty weird. I don't know if the runners are skewed a little bit, the heads are, what is, but it's only this one a little bit and that one. So what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna go ahead and machine. I'm gonna port these out just a little bit to get where I want. Alright, there we go. It's hard to see, but it is now flush. And like I said, guys, that's not gonna bother, it's not gonna worry too much there, because it has plenty of gasket space right there. And this is how it sits. So I went through, I made sure everything was lined up. And this is a pretty simple mod you guys can do too. These are metal gaskets, so you can go ahead and port them out to gasket match them. And a lot of the time, guys, they come from the factory with, like, I would say one up to probably 3 mil. That's quite a bit of overhang. So you can actually take them off and port them. Very simple. You don't even have to port the heads or the runners or the intake manifold. Just port the gasket, and that will yield better flow just right there, just by simply doing that. So it's not the prettiest, but it will seal. I'm gonna knock this edge down a little bit, and then I'm gonna hit it with the copper spray. Alright guys, when installing your intake manifold, it's always important to look around and make sure there's nothing underneath impeding it from flushing up and sitting all the way down. I've done it where back here, one of the brackets was caught under there, and I torqued it down. It actually punched the hole into the intake manifold, and I didn't know, and it was idling really high for a while, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was running fine, but finally I pulled it off, and I was able to find that, hey, I punched a hole in my intake manifold, because the frickin' bracket got caught under it. So just make sure you're doing that. And torque it down to the proper sequence, which I got right here. That's for the cover. That's the cover. Those are the runners. Where's the IM? And here's the IM. This is how you bolt it down on the inside. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's 16 foot-pounds. So upper intake manifold, 16 foot-pounds, and you go in that order. Anytime I do something at work, like I change a part or I take off an old part, you know, I always save my bolts, man. It's come in handy so many times that I don't have to run to the parts store, grab extra hardware, you know. It's just, I come in here and I would say 9 out of 10 times I have exactly what I need. Point in case, the intake manifold cover. Alright, these bolts, they torque down to like 6 or 8 foot-pounds. It's 104 Newton meters, which it translates on my torque. I heard a pop, and this bitch broke off in there. It's like 8 foot-pounds of fucking torque. I heard like a pop, and then it sounded like one of the bubble wraps. Pop, and then I was like, what the fuck? Look at that. Huh. I guess it's been on and off too many times. I think I'm gonna go to a I'm probably gonna end up drilling all these out, and I'm probably gonna go to a stud. I'm probably gonna, instead of the bolts, I'm probably gonna go to a stud. Makes it a hell of a lot easier. Just drop it on, boom, 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 bolt them all on. That will probably have to be bored out. I'll probably have to drill it out and then re-tap. Well, it was a fail on my part, moving the fuse box. I can't get my damn thing to mate. So, I don't know. Guess I gotta move it back. Alright guys, ended back in the OEM spot for the fuse box, which actually may still work with the turbo setup. I'll have to see. It's gonna be tight as shit because it has to go in there somehow. So, I don't know, not sure. I know a lot of that's gonna get tucked, but we will see. Got the intake manifold on. Next step is gonna be axles, J-pipe, and then oil, and that'll be it, guys. I'll be up. Alright guys, as far as I can tell, the entire top end is buttoned up. Everything's all hooked up here. Good to go. 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 Alright. Now it's just axles, J-pipe, and oil. Damn guys, I can't express in words, you know, how fucking hot it is out here. I'm on my third pair of shirt. I'm on my third shirt, and my second pair of pants, because literally I sweat through them. Like, it looks like I jumped in a pool and then came out. That's how sweaty it is. It's just, this Florida heat just drains you. It's just nasty. But anyways, almost done. Got the axles in both sides. Sorry guys, my battery died. I had to start charging it, but I'm pretty much done. All I gotta do is add oil. I gotta put the oil filter on. Everything else is ready to go. So figured I'd take you guys on a journey with me while I wrapped up the final portion of the install. So I'm just going to use the Rotella T5. I've been using the Rotella T6, which is a 1040 on my bike. It's actually a diesel motor, or a diesel oil. And dude, it works great, man. I love this stuff. No issues whatsoever. It has high wear compounds, which I was a little worried about with the motorcycle, because it has a wet clutch. And usually that is like anti-friction. And the anti-friction will sometimes make a clutch slip, and once again, in a wet clutch, which is a motorcycle, cars are dry clutches, so it doesn't really matter there. You want as much anti or whatever the fuck I just said, man. Sorry, I am beat, man. This Florida weather just kicks my ass. Been out here for like 4 hours. Almost done though. Just wrapping this up. Putting that on. I will put the cover on here in a second, but alright guys, let me finish this up, and next thing you see will be the motor starting. So the valve train's a little noisier than I remembered, but as far as I know, that's the norm with stiffer valve springs. Everything I've seen with like Bisimoto or Super Tech, something I can't figure out. This fan is making some weird, oh, there it goes. But the fan was making weird noise. It's just, I think it's something loose. Yeah, so the valve train is a little noisier than I anticipated, but I know for a fact 120% that my valve adjustment is dead on. For one, it was the easiest valve adjustment I ever had. I bring that up because, you know, the harder it is, the less your adjustments are going to be on. I know for a fact mine are on, dude. I mean, I had it was not difficult whatsoever. I could feel it perfectly, you know, what the valve lash or what the clearance was. So I know they're on. I'm not worried about that. And every car that I've seen that has Bisimoto or Super Tech valve springs, it's always noisier because they are obviously they're a lot stiffer, and it's gonna create a little more valve noise or valve train noise. So here she is, you guys, running. Sorry, I got my Dakota here. It's kind of drowning it out. Let me put her away real quick. Alright, now she's all buttoned up. Let's get in here and see what Flash Pro has to say. There was a check engine light, so I want to see what's going on there. Alright, let me get her hooked up real quick. She fires right up. Not an issue. AC works. Radio works. Tack is not working, but that's probably just down there from the fuse. I probably didn't get the wire, because I run that wire off of the fuel pump fuse, so when it only turns on when the car is on. Same with the wideband. The wideband's on. It's another fuse. It's running pretty fucking rich right now, but I am, let's see what's going on. It's running pretty rich, so there's, what the fuck? What is that? What did I just do? What is that? Oh, shit. That was the knock. Alright. So, there's no knock. This is, I think that's air fuel, something else. I think that's the other air fuel. So that's the secondary air fuel, or the secondary. God damn it. Alright. So it's actually pretty, it's running a little, it's fine here, but it's not there. So this air fuel corrected, it's running 15, which is pretty fucking rich. pretty lean. T-plate, ITs, it's only 167 so far, it's good. Let's go ahead and see what that code was. Holy shit. Oh wait, whoops. O2 sensor heater circuit malfunction, bank 2 sensor 2. Bank 2 sensor 2. Okay, bank 2 would be the rear, sensor 2 would be the bottom. Oh, you know what? I don't think I hooked that bitch up. Let me go see. No, the sensor's definitely hooked up. I got all of them hooked up, so let's go ahead and clear that code and see if it comes back. Clear DTCs. Hello? Oh, alright. I guess that's it. Okay, no. Okie dokie. Let's see what happens here. Alright. No code so far. I think we're okay thus far. Alright guys. Oh no, there's the code. Let's see what it says. O2 sensor heater circuit malfunction, bank 2 sensor 2. Which one is that? Okay, so it's just one of my O2 sensors. I don't know which one. You know what I can do? I can say fuck that O2 sensor. There's a way to disconnect it. Let me see. Calibration. Yeah. I gotta get my calibrations. Oh, actually, what calibration am I fucking on? I'm on my E30. I'm on my E30. E30 1010. Oh, I'm on my E30 6 13 1010. Sorry. sensor, no. Primary oxygen sensor, yes. Use map to determine what, yes. Okay, then what you do after you made the change, actually, let me, I'm actually gonna add some fuel to my idle. 15.5 is actually idling pretty fucking good right now. 15, it's just that idle. 15.5, you're not doing anything. Let's see what the air fuels look like whenever they go to my high, go to my low. This would be idle. Let me see. So what you do, you look at what your map. So it's map based density based tuning. So you go and you look at what your map pressure is right now. It's right around 17, so it would be these two. See, that's where it's idling. So